Hi guys, this is Black Star. I have two guests with me. That guy, he has his own YouTube channel,
Called that. Called
Chevy
Thomas
Sharp.
and today we're gonna be discussing a couple of subjects. First, we're gonna be talking about our favorite YouTubers. Chevy, what's yours?
I'd say that my favorite YouTubers is kind of a tie between Markiplier and Game Grumps. Every time I find myself tilting towards one, another one will put out another video, and I end up tilting right back to the other one again. So it's a flipping coin that's just never landing on heads nor tails. So both of them have always been my favorite.
And your thoughts?
It's kind of a hard one. I mean, Game Theorist. I like the Game Theorist.
I like the Game Theorist as well.
I mean, he's intelligent and it actually gives me something to think about. Then again, Game Grumps, I watch every day and just love it. They're freaking hilarious.
Mine, it's a tie between three people. PewDiePie, of course, he's famous. Markiplier, of course, he's hilarious when he plays horror games. Like the way he reacts.
In Alien Isolation, the moments.
I think I like
Yeah.
my favorite Mark moment would be in Five Nights 3 when
God.
he's at the window.
Yes.
He's like, oh hey, remember when I told you to go F yourself? And you didn't?
Oh, I love that one.
I believe that was a great life choice.
My favorite scene was when he was in Alien Isolation. He's crawling through the vent duct, and the door opens, and the alien is standing right there, and he just freezes, looks at the camera, and he's just like... and then he pulls out the flamethrower and fires it, and it was so funny. It was like a magic trick. You've seen fire, alien freaks out, and when the fire clears, the alien is gone. It is completely disappeared in this big open room where you should have been able to see it go somewhere. It literally just goes, and he's gone.
Yeah.
It didn't even, it's like it literally just portaled into the fire into another room somewhere.
Or was disintegrated, huh?
Something. I mean, it was just
Hey, I mean,
hilarious.
that's the only thing I can guess about.
He didn't even hold it down. He just goes, and it just it disappears. I was like, what?
What is a sorcerer? But my last one would have to be the Saiyan 12. And yeah, he gives perfect information. But next, I want to talk about Berserk.
Yeah.
We're out of frame here. We're out of frame.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Let's scoot up and look at it, guys.
Oh my god. I love you guys
People, I
so
got small
much.
screen.
But
So, favorite YouTuber still?
like the Saiyan 12, like if you watch his YouTube channels, I mean all of his YouTube videos, you will see he gives perfect detail and all of the things he's like. Even he reads the manga. Like he don't watches the anime and be like, okay, I'm gonna just be flat out say this. He does all the research. He gets his information and then he calculates it just by watching all their like depending on who it is, like Madara and Goku. Goku would automatically win the fight because not only in his Super Saiyan 3 form he can punch a hole in the earth with one punch, like on the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods when he was on planet Kinkai. Punched a hole in his planet.
Ironically, he needs oxygen, though.
And, like, people say, now this is my opinion, I don't want nobody else getting mad, but I agree with Saiyan 12. He said that the DBZ universe is way stronger and potentially more dangerous than the Naruto universe.
So you can tell us what you think about that and everything.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite YouTubers personally are I love Purple Rodri. He just is hysterical, especially his Four Swords Let's Play. Lord, he makes me crack up every time. Nakatili is another of my favorites. He never cusses and he's wonderful. And I also like several others. I've just gotten into Maryland recently, so he's pretty cool. And he doesn't cuss anything either. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so next, our stars here will talk about Berserk.
Yes. Berserk is
That Eminem song?
yeah. My number one all-time favorite anime. Berserk follows the story of the main character named Guts, who is he leads a life of constant tragedy. At 8, he was adopted by this random woman passing by.
I got my man.
He was born from this corpse. It's a horrible story. His mother was hanged. He's born from the dead body. He gets adopted in by this warlord's mother or wife, and then she dies soon after due to a random illness. Everyone blames him for it. Then he ends up killing his own adoptive father because his adoptive father goes insane and tries to kill him. And then he tries to give up and just die, and he just can't. And then it's fast forwarding. He's 8 years old when this is all going on. Then at 16, he's a mercenary traveling around, and he's known for using a great sword that's way too big for a normal human to use. And people constantly make fun of him and ridicule him, but he can surprisingly use it very well, but he's reckless. He runs into this random mercenary group called Band of the Hawk, and they're led by who will eventually become like his best friend and rival, Griffith. Griffith is the typical pretty boy that you see in animes a lot, and has all this like skill and finesse and everything, and he decides to recruit Guts because he finds him interesting. So these two become really good friends, and they travel, and they end up, after a long amount of years, 10 years in this war that's going on, settling the war single-handedly, because Griffith is an unmatchable tactician. And it seems like everything's going better and better throughout the years. But then it all falls apart when Guts decides to leave the Band of the Hawk, battles Griffith, and because he's got to fight him for his freedom. Griffith loses his weapon in that battle. Guts leaves. Griffith makes a horrible choice and ends up getting imprisoned. And it's like a year or two later, Guts finds the Band of the Hawk again. They're barely surviving. There's maybe 30 of them left alive when there was thousands of them. Just the main generals are left alive, and it just accelerates. It goes from normal humans versus normal humans to demons and fairies and stuff get involved, and it gets really, really tragic. It went from like this horrible story to doing good to Guts' old history follows him, and all of his friends and his his family and close cared ones, they all die again, and it's really, really brutal storyline. And sadly, this series really deserved to be finished on DVD, or at least on TV, maybe Netflix or something, but they ended up foreclosing on that, and that really sucked.
Actually, they have Berserk on Netflix. Like, I checked it yesterday because I was watching some other animes, and then I found it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, yeah!"
Yeah, they have the whole first season, and it's really upsetting because that last scene, all you see is Guts talking to the guy who fixes his sword all the time. It tells him, he asks him, "What are you going to do?" And he's like, basically just says, "I'm going to go set things right." And then he's walking away, and the screen turns bright red, and then the credits start rolling. That's the last thing you see. I was so upset when I seen this scene. I almost cried. I won't lie. I was holding tears back. Tears of anger were just like ready to burst forth.
But I mean, it's so sad though. Like, he was only like at a young age, and he had to kill.
Yeah, I'd say by this time he's like 28, 29 years roughly. Maybe 30 at most. And he has had like roughly 5 or 6 different families, and every one of them died off due to this supposed curse that he thinks follows him. It's brutal life that he lives. But thankfully the manga did keep going on, and they did try to finish up the manga as much as possible, and it's still going for now, but we're nearing the end of it all. And you find out that Guts was actually supposed to become what Griffith became, which is the Demon King. But due to the reverse in the storyline, the flop, Guts now becomes a rebellion demon who is now trying to stop all this stuff from happening. And it's insane. It gets really crazy out of order. But Really good story, really great show. I really wish they would bring it back up and finish the DVDs because it's a great anime and it would definitely survive in today's society, especially with the Otaku Legion out there. Man, we'd be tearing that up.
That guy, do you have anything to say about this topic?
These,
You've been very quiet, so.
yeah, these guys actually stayed true with this series, and I had a hard time staying with Bleach on Toonami.
Well, I mean, I've been watching Bleach so far on Netflix. I mean,
It's on Netflix?
yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah, and they also have Naruto when they were in their childhood.
At the
Like-
moment when my cousin cancels her Netflix and says, no, you can't use it anymore, I'm gonna put it to one system and say, F you. I'm like, no more movies.
Okay, so next topic then. I have heard there is a new Speed Racer coming out, whether it's a series or a movie. Unfortunately, I don't know as of yet, but I thought we would get our guest reactions to it.
Hopefully, it's better than the last remake.
They have destroyed the last
You
one.
guys-
Awful looking.
You guys,
Oh, God.
we need to tell the audience a little bit about what Speed Racer is.
Oh,
Speed Racer
Yeah, I suppose
Speed
so.
Racer needs no real introduction in the anime otaku world because Speed Racer is a very big series.
Yes, it
It's
is.
very old. It's very, very popular, even
Yeah.
in today's society.
yeah, it came from Japan originally. Was called what was it called again?
Gecko
Gomako
Ranger?
or something like that. And it was actually a cartoon way back in the 60s, if I remember correctly, and came out here. And I remember watching it when I was little.
I used to watch it when I was
have
little, too.
every.
I
I think I
used to
have
watch it
most of the
back
episodes
then.
now that they finally put it on DVD. But yeah, I mean, they did the live action movie, which I thought was pretty cool in its way. But
Very,
Oh God, I
very,
can't tell you how many
drug
times my
out.
mother would yell at me and my brother because we walk around. Ha ha!
I will finish this race for the honor of my people.
Ha ha! I will win the paintball course today. Ha ha! No, you will not.
Oh my gosh! When I would see that part, I'm just like, if I was at that moment in that movie, I'd just be that one guy, just like, just stop, no,
Just step. Step. You're being a mention cart. You're being a mention cart.
Ah, it's a Nazi snake.
anyways, before they made the live action movie, they did reboot the series at one point. It didn't last long, as far as I've been able to tell. I've only found like 3 or 4 episodes or something, but I thought it was actually really well done. And then they made the live action movie. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was.
And then
It was hit and miss. It was mostly eye candy, which was upsetting.
yeah, I kind of. There were parts where I liked it because it paid homage to the original, which was awesome. But then there were parts where I'm like, I didn't really kind of like it too much. So I agree, in that aspect. And then they made this new one called The Next Generation. It's all like CGI type, and it looks awful. It's supposed to be his son, from what I understand. He and Tracy's
I
son,
like the
think.
Next Generation cartoon, to be honest.
haven't-
I
I
didn't
haven't-
like the movie. The movie was corny, and you could tell when the CGI was happening.
Yeah, I didn't.
So I personally didn't like it from what I read about it. Actually, I've never actually seen it. I probably should check it out just so I could say for certain. But I didn't like the premise from what I read, and I didn't like the graphic. The way it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked awful. So this new one, whatever it is, hopefully I'll have more information for you guys next week. It was sounded very interesting, and now for something totally girly, which is going to be really funny to listen to these guys talk about something girly.
Oh, yay.
There is
Yay.
a supposedly Hello Kitty is going to get some kind of stage show. So for those of you who don't know what Hello Kitty is, it came from I think actually China originally, and it's been all over. She's been all over the place, but
It was
she's
Japan.
pretty old. She's pretty old by this point. I forget how old anymore. But it's a very very popular thing. Little short white, kitty. Full name is properly is Kitty White, but most people call her Hello Kitty because that's the way she's been branded, basically. So,
Oh, no.
we're
I
going
lost
to
my
see
arrow.
what these guys think of it as a very girly thing. Hello Kitty's getting a stage show. What do you think?
Well, it's not that it's too much of a girly thing.
It is girly thing.
There is a huge. It's like My Little Pony. There's a huge attachment of men who play this game.
Really?
As nerve setting as that is,
Nerve setting?
that is their opinion. That is their choice. If they want to play something like that, that is fine. That is them. I will never. You will never catch me dead. But
First Spider-Man gets a musical. Okay, Spider-Man. Yeah, that makes sense. Then you get Hello Kitty, a Japanese little
Chinese.
white cat.
Chinese originally, then moved over to Japan at some point,
When it
and
went
then
to
came
Japan,
over
it
here.
became an MMORPG on PC.
There's a lot of
That's when its popularity exploded all over the world.
Yeah, there are video games for it. There's the original cartoon series, and some people wonder if you would call that an anime or not.
I
don't
would
know.
say that it is in the,
I'd say it's more like
I would say it's in the
Japanese
chibi category of anime because it has anime art style, but
Yeah.
it has chibi effects.
I personally think it's really cute. Then again, I'm a girl, so obviously,
Well, I mean, Pokemon's cute, but I find it awesome.
yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah,
I
'cause
agree there too.
I mean,
It's awesome.
Lucario, like, holy man,
Yeah,
like, he can just like destroy you with a World Blast and just gonna be like,
Okay, so we've had their reactions as you've seen. Now for something that's actually up to date. Jurassic World just came out recently, so we're going to have these guys tell you what they think of it and the
Alright.
whole Jurassic Park thing all together. So
Yes.
here you go.
Okay,
So,
Chevy, you first.
all right. So, Jurassic World is something that we've been waiting on for a very long time. It's been, what, 10 years, 15 years? I can't remember. But it's been so many years since the first movie came out that everybody always wondered what happened to that canister of DNA that got dropped in the mud when, I forget his name, I believe it was Ernest,
I
the
wouldn't know.
the really big guy that tried to sneak in and steal
Yeah,
one of every DNA. I think it was Ernest.
I have no idea.
He
I
was
watched
trying-
I watched the original way back when I was much younger before I moved down here, and it gave me nightmares
This is
forever.
This is
I have
one of
all
my all-time favorite
yeah.
series, and it's like at least fifth on my top 5. So it would be higher, but other movies have come out that I've immediately just fallen in love with. So, but I remember the scene that he had wrecked the Jeep up on some roots or something, and he had to go down and winch. But while he was down there, the venom spitter had sprayed him in the eyes. No, that was when he got back in the Jeep. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, it
He
was,
gets back in the Jeep because he was playing fetch with it and it got mad at him. He gets in the Jeep and it spits him in the eyes and eats him. But then you notice that the can had rolled free from his pocket and it landed and some mud was covering it up. A lot of people were asking, how would that canister have lasted so long when it was only supposed to last about 48 hours? Well, the real trick was mud, when it hardens, becomes extremely cold, especially when underwater. And it will solidify and actually basically keep just about anything safe for hundreds, even thousands of years. That's how dinosaur bones are able to be found today. The cold pressure from above and the hot pressure from below is a perfect refrigerator, literally keeping those bones from breaking down for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
Millions of years even.
Yes, millions even. So, that canister was sitting under that mud, being well protected all that time. And that's a simple explanation of how they could have stumbled across that canister. So, that is one theory. Another theory is they just simply invented it from scratch using information that was supposedly lost. I was like, well, yeah, because I'm totally a brave gung-ho soldier who's going to sneak into an enemy territory. By the way, Tyrannosaurus Rex can smell you over 10 miles away. Just saying. So I'm going to sneak into this area as quiet as possible, regardless of the fact that it can smell me, and steal some information out of a computer that I'm going to have to go crank a loud generator and turn it back on. So yeah, I'm just no go. I would have looked at them and said, yeah, not for hire, and walked away.
you is out of here. Bye.
Now, you guys don't know, but I am a big fan of the first Jurassic Park movie, of course. First Jurassic Park was a CGI. It was the start of CGI as a big thing in cinema. Okay, so
Yeah, it was a third,
then 2 came around. I was like, okay, it's okay. I mean, it's not as good as the original, but nothing could be as good as the original. And then the third one came out. I was like, oh, now they're not trying. That's not cool.
They're trying to capitalize on the wealth and everything, the hype and whatnot.
So yeah,
I liked all three. I thought they were all good, but like you state, it's hard when you come out with something original. You're putting a lot of heart and soul into it. You're putting everything you got into it. And then sequels, you're kind of like, oh, whoops, I don't know what to do now.
They're hard to make. It's hard to make a really good sequel.
Yeah, and see, with writing a book, it's easier because when you screw up, you can just go, wait, let's fill in how this even came to be. And you can erase back, and then start, writing in there. Just try to memorize what you had before and then fill it in later. So it's a lot easier to sequel in books than make a movie. But with the movie, it was, I believe it was a park ride first, wasn't it? No, I'm thinking of Pirates of the Caribbean.
and Haunted
It was a
Mansion.
park ride first, then it became movies later.
Oh yeah.
And Haunted Mansion.
I
But
love the Pirates of the Caribbean ride down at Florida and everything.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
So,
it's a really neat. It's a really neat ride. Especially it became even more neat after they did after they actually did the movies, because it was kind of like very generic like before. And then when the movies came out and Jack Sparrow and everything became such a big hit, they changed it, and I really like it even more now. Anyway, so that's just about all the time that we have for this particular episode of Anime News Conference. So we will now give you a quick preview of what we're going to talk about next week.
Well, next week we're going to be talking about the past 3 years of the overpowered anime, and then I'll go through the random ones. Then I'm going to look up. I've been doing my own research on some other things. I don't know, like the outside world, like the world itself, like the secret books, the secrets that lie within America that nobody knows. Because usually America, we don't want to know what goes on in America, like what America is actually doing. Because we wouldn't feel safe. We don't want to be like trembling in fear because I don't know, we're gonna die in the next 5 years because a meteor's coming, or like something mystical happens and we're all gonna.
It's supposed to be anime related, remember? I think you got a little excited there. Hopefully, I will have more
Drifted off course a
information.
little bit. I do want to end this episode with a simple question to everyone today, including those sitting here now.
oh boy,
And don't try not to answer now, but next time you could answer then. So fill in the comments below. Which do you believe would be a winner in a fight, Pokemon or Digimon?
oh boy.
Question
Okay.
mark.
So that's all the time we have
Dinosaurs
for today.
versus
Hopefully, I'll have more
mouse.
information on those other two subjects next week. So this is it, guys. Bye bye.
But
See you later.